All right, looks like we made it. We're back. Welcome to everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for watching again for another week of the Fireside Tales with Indigo. That's me. Thank you for choosing to spend your Sunday with us. Definitely appreciate that. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on out there right now. Definitely want to take a moment to make sure that everybody is, definitely doing okay out there, keeping yourself safe, trying to avoid some of the madness that's going on. Definitely going to be some moments for using our voices here coming up, it seems like, though. Yeah, as far as tonight, let's enjoy some D&D fun and kind of forget about some of these crazy things that are going on. Definitely want to mention that, right now I would normally be shouting out all of our amazing sponsors that take care of our show for us, but right at the moment we don't have any. So if you want to jump on that train, I would definitely welcome a conversation in that regard. So please feel free to get a hold of me through any of our social media sites. Definitely want to take a moment to make special mention of some of our viewers. I already see one of them out there, Miss Witchy Lee. How you doing? Hi. Thank you so much for the sub. I appreciate that. Every little bit definitely helps keep us going around here. And I appreciate you being a sub. Don't forget you got that awesome emote to use as a tier 1 sub. And keep an eye out for the next video once I put it up on YouTube. I've been doing a little bit of work with some intro stuff, some logo stuff, as well as a brand new credit scroll that I just got done with yesterday. And that's going to be pretty cool. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Also want to say thank you to Gibbs for also being a subscriber, as well as the donations and bits that she's been sending in. There's that honorable scoundrel right there. And also to Ellie Piano Cat for starting that donation goal towards that 1 year of Envato. Definitely excited for that. Once we get to that goal, I'm definitely excited for that because I would like to have a year's worth of awesome design stuff and audio files and all the other cool things that the Envato site offers for our creators. And it's already opened the door to some pretty cool stuff that I've been able to do. And a year-long subscription to that would be pretty awesome. I mean, some cool things for the show. So that's kind of the goal for right now. Definitely appreciate Ali Piano Cat for starting up that. Let's see. As far as the game that we're playing, we are going through the Tales of the Yawning Portal. It's a series of adventures from the Wizards of the Coast kids. These adventures have been put out. They're actually just a bunch of disparate adventures that have been kind of organized into a loose path from first level to about 15th level or so through the end of these adventures. I think there's 7 or 8 of these adventures in the whole pack. We've already played through the first 2 of those adventures, and we are into the third one now. It's called the Hidden Shrine of Tomoe-chan. And this is kind of a Mayan or Aztecan themed setting. The Mesoamerican kind of era is a big favorite of mine, so I'm excited to be playing through this. As you can see, I did this kind of overlay with the Mesoamerican kind of a theme to it, so I thought that was kind of a fun little thing to do. So, all of that being said, part of this show is definitely to get me updated with these 5e rules. I used to play back in the original Redbox days, going into Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, then dipping my toes into 3rd edition a little bit. Took a break from that for a while and kind of jumped back in 5th edition, so we're getting me kind of updated, and also at the same time kind of helping our viewers that aren't as familiar with D&D to kind of learn some of the rules and go through all of that with us. So definitely been interesting incorporating all of that into the mix as well. So all of that being said, let's go ahead. I know these guys are ready to play some D&D. They want to get right on over to one Mr. Tloques Popolocas. And what do you think here, guys? Are you ready to face whatever is in the sarcophagus?
I mean, I guess so, right? Yeah.
I think we can kill it pretty easily.
Well, let's get right into that. Let's find out what is going to happen here.
I'm hiding behind a pillar already, right? Right?
We were all 30. We're at least 30 feet away, or 20 feet away from it, because I did cast Fireball.
Good.
This is the moment where it casts Fireball.
Well,
Why you
No.
gotta take
Just watch
stuff?
and see it. Just try and cast Fireball and cave in the entire thing, like I almost did.
there does seem to be
Yeah.
a chance that could happen.
No
at
one's
any
dumb
time.
enough to do that.
I mean, nobody. So, this guy is floating up out of this sarcophagus when last we saw him. So, let's go ahead and set the mood here a little bit, because the first things first, we have some atmosphere to kind of get us going. And right after that, my friends, we have some new battle music for Mr. Tloques Popolocas specifically. This is going to be fun. I encourage you guys to win quickly.
That doesn't worry me at all.
Oh, we got this. We got 5. He only gets 1 turn. We get 5 turns. We got this.
So, oh man, I almost called him Mr. TP. Gosh, I just ruined it. I just ruined it. All of the intrigue and the fear and the mystery is just instantly gone for Mr. Tloques Popolocas. So, yeah, it's a little bit James Bond, but also mysterious at the same time. Come on. Alright, so. At 23, we are going to start off this turn order with Mara and Bordi at 23. And you do see, after you cast this fireball, this explosion of fire raging around the center of this room, and as the flames kind of wither away, as it is kind of just this brute force, instantaneous kind of an effect, as that kind of dissipates, there's just this moment of silence, and then as this skull rises up out of the sarcophagus, and it whispers the words, "Why have you awakened, Tloques Popolocas?" What would you like to do?
First, can I determine... this is very obviously something that's undead, correct?
It is definitely a floaty skull surrounded in purple energy.
Do I know... Can I tell what type of creature this is to any degree? Because it does matter, depending on what I want to do.
What would that be? A nature check?
It might be an arcana, it could be a nature, it could be... It just
Well,
depends
just trying
on,
to judge from the shape of the skull, like what kind of a creature this was.
like, this is obviously something magical. Can I determine it, what type of creature that it, like... I guess also... Maybe it is a nature check, I don't know.
It would be a nature check, because otherwise it's obviously undead because it's a floating skull. So
Right. But if I can determine anything else by it.
Yeah, I mean, you
yeah,
can definitely determine generally what kind of a creature this is, for sure. Yeah, I mean, definitely just by what's left of the skull floating there, you could tell that this was a human or a creature that's very human-like in life.
And in Undeath, can I determine anything? Is this like... Do I know anything about what type of creature this is? If it's like a demi-lich, or not demi-lich, what's like, or something like that, where it's something magical, undead?
It's
Not that this is a demi-lich.
This is definitely magical undead. You can't determine that quite yet.
Okay, well I know it's undead, and that's enough for me to cast.
That's enough. Okay.
But
And what is the bonus effect on that for
bonus effect is for undead creatures, they get disadvantage on attack rolls against. I just need to check if it's me, and they cannot against me. Oh, okay, but they also can't regain hit points, which is a very common thing that undead do.
Let's see. How long does that effect last?
Till the start of his next turn. Her next turn.
Okay. Alright. So.
Don't want it hitting me. Let me see. Do I want to?
Is there a resistance to this? Or a saving throw?
Yeah, no, it's an attack spell to hit. So the 12 to hit. If it doesn't hit, no effects. If it does hit, effects. And damage.
Let's. So we have an interesting individual here. What was the total damage on that?
Damage.
10?
Yeah.
And it was 12 to hit?
Yep.
Okay.
Quite a low roll.
It is quite a low roll, sir. Okay, so you see your magic kind of... this one just, it's not like a ray or anything like that, it just kind of manifests.
It's a hand.
It just
if you
kind
want,
of appears there, right?
it's a spectral hand that kind of like, for my character, kind of like extends from my hand and just lightly grabs a hold of them.
Okay. As you create this hand and you kind of extend it across the room at this skull kind of rising up out of this crypt, as it gets closer, you can see it just kind of, we'll say it just starts kind of like disintegrating as it like hits this magic that's kind of floating around him as it gets closer, and then finally before it touches him, it just kind of dissipates entirely.
Okay. That's disappointing.
A miss, but with flavor.
And I don't really have. Let's see.
Oh, I should also for game purposes, I should put him in a square. So,
okay, I'm gonna. Oh, sorry. I'm trying to hide properly. Can I get to a point that's behind this pillar, like obstruction from vision? I guess there. I can't see him, which means he can't see me. I know that's not how it always works, but like using a pillar as a thing should.
That's definitely going to give you, I would say, good. 3/4 cover at least, yeah.
Yeah, I'll keep there then.
Okay, sure. Rafiki would still be inside. Zigzag would probably have full cover just because of how small he is. I don't think Ratul would get half cover though. Brasnic will. Gok's just standing there. Alright, so Zigzag.
Yeah, she's been hyped.
Zigzag. He's not impressed at all with the situation. And especially not with this floating baddie over here. So let's go ahead and Hunter's Mark this guy with the bonus action. And he's going to pull the arrow across his skin. Okay. So as the arrow flies out and towards this creature again, as it kind of gets near this magical energy, the arrow comes in and it kind of like bounces off, or just almost seems to be thrown aside just a little bit off its mark by this magical energy around this floating skull. And he's going to hold his position there. So Ratul, that brings us to you, sir. And I feel a suplex coming on.
How do you suplex the floating skull?
And he just grabs it and crushes it.
I asked him that very question, and his only response was suplex in all caps. So I feel like there's an answer forthcoming here. Push to talk, sir.
What?
Both Mara and Zigzag.
I forgot I put myself on mute. My apologies.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought that was like something was going on in the background. What?
No. So, sorry for the top. Let's get this party started as I crack my gauntlets together to activate them. As I go into a rage.
Okay. Rage it is. For anyone watching, if you like emotes and you want to spam our little map window here with the emotes, please feel free to do that, because every emote that you type into the chat window is going to span across our little map window on the screen and in the game. So have fun with that. So, what was it you were going to do there, sir?
As I'm going... Right, push to talk, this is so bloody... As I get into my rage and start charging towards the skull, and I am going to try to grapple it.
Okay. So as it's sitting up in the skull, go ahead and start approaching. As you get close to this thing, remembering that this thing is a 4-foot tall slab of stone sitting on about 2-foot tall blocks of dolomite. So just to get to the top edge of the sarcophagus is about 6 feet. And then so what you can see, because you're 6'8", something like that. Is that correct? Somewhere in there.
Ratul is... No, Ratul is 7'6".
Well then. So from your vaunted vantage point there, sir, you can actually see that this skull is not so much floating, and but it's actually still a little bit attached to what's left of a spine. You can see a little bit of a rib cage. You can see on this rib cage that what looks like almost like bits of jade interwoven with gold, and it almost looks like some sort of a Mesoamerican armor of some sort. You can start seeing that this body is still somewhat intact. You can see that there are still portions of arm left on this creature. And as it's sitting up, you can see that it's still got some of these adornments that were on it from before.
Yes, that is very interesting. Now excuse me as I go ahead and grab its spine like a giant lever and grapple it.
Okay. Go ahead and make that roll, sir.
Ooh, 14. Not my best roll.
A 14.
Oh, rolling so low.
It's true. And let's see. You, with almost a preternatural speed, as you come in for your grapple, you see this torso with the skull floating, or this glowing kind of purplish skull attached. You see it kind of just move to the side with this speed that you've never seen a zombie or a skeleton or any kind of other undead that you've encountered before, besides something that was spirit-like in essence, move this quickly.
That's a bit concerning, but that'll be the end of my turn, as that's all my actions used.
Okay.
Also, quick heads up, you don't usually use saves for grapple checks. It's usually either acrobatics or athletics checks.
Correct. They don't get their bonuses generally. Unless they have the strength. Unless that's their strength modifier. Or sorry.
What
Sorry,
was the
unless that's
modifier?
their dex modifier.
It would have been 2 less than that, so 21 instead.
Yep, just heads up for future.
Thank you. So, at 14, as it kind of dodges away from you, you see it kind of like look down, and you see it start reaching like across down towards this end of the sarcophagus, and you see this pendant kind of laying on the floor over there, and it's just kind of like trying to raise up a hand towards it. It's still kind of broken, but you can see these little dust motes of bone starting to gather around this thing to rebuild this skeleton, even as it sits there in front of you. And it kind of raises a hand and it points at the pendant and it says, "Zotsala, protect your servant." And as it says this, it casts Sanctuary. So, all of you will have to make that wisdom saving throw if you would like to attempt this creature.
That's good.
So, Brasnic, you've woken up from your nap, sir. The most narcoleptic rogue ever. Grabs the statue, falls asleep, wakes up, finishes the job.
I mean, it is what it is. I work with this is why I work in a group.
They're dragging him along, like, okay.
Just to make sure, did the scary skeleton man take an actual action? Because Sanctuary is only a bonus action.
Is it? How dare you? All of your fellow party members love you right now.
That's fine. I mean, if he does anything threatening, he automatically loses Sanctuary, so that's fine.
It's true.
Burn spell slot pretty fast.
So, I don't think this is threatening in and of itself.
Unless it's using its action to reconstitute itself.
No, it's not. So I don't think this is threatening in and of itself. But if you guys think I'm wrong about this, feel free.
Well, if it's a spell
Oh, sure. It's
or
not.
an attack,
It's an ability.
that is a
It's
That is not threatening.
that is
That is
not.
not threatening.
Oh, it's a vampire.
So,
Well, that's easy to deal with.
as Mara doesn't know anything
True.
about vampires, possibly. So, as this spell is cast, well, this also happens, but you guys don't know what's happened. So, that's going to be the rest of its turn. So, Brez,
Sun not up? Is the sun not up? I thought we were out in the daylight.
Aren't we underground?
So
We are very
I
much
thought-
underground.
I thought it had to do with like the actual timing. But if it's not sun, then that's fine.
If it's underground, it will still work.
Okay.
So, Breznic.
Right, so as all this happens, I see him reaching towards the other end of the sarcophagus. I remember what we saw last time before someone really blew up my loot. I mean, made a decision.
You mean
Gonna
the
go ahead.
party, sir?
Yeah,
Parts.
I'm actually gonna go ahead and go up here, hop up to the right level since I'm a shorty,
How tall are you?
and try and snag that amulet before he gets all fully made.
How tall are you, sir?
I don't know if that requires a check or something or just movement.
You'd have to climb, I think. How tall are you?
A towering 4'1".
Alright, well, this thing is 4 feet of stone sitting on top of 2 foot tall blocks of stone.
Yeah, so there's a quick foot. It's a quick jump from where I am, foot hit, and then boost myself up and over.
Okay.
Try and snag that amulet.
Definitely say that would count as difficult terrain to get up to the top there.
That works.
So go ahead and move up to the top. And as you do get up to the top of the sarcophagus and looking down inside of it, you can see that there are shattered remains of what look like they were some kind of clay pots or something, possibly, that were left inside this thing. You can see the remains of what looks like they were spell scroll casings that are inside of this thing. You can see this corpse. It looks like it is now much more reconnected and knitting itself back together than it was at first. You can see that it is already becoming a full body of a skeleton within this thing, quickly knitting itself back together.
Send a quick glare towards Mara as I see all the broken, precious loot that could have been ours. But yeah, the amulet it was pointing towards is there. It's still free of the body right now.
Roll a perception check with advantage.
Perception.
You guys got Witchy Lee cracking up already. It's a good sign.
12. Oh my god, that's not. Can I roll like? I had D10, right?
You do have a D10 available if you want to use it.
Yeah.
For this.
I'm gonna add a D10 to that 12.
This is a critical moment.
Aha, 18.
18.
I feel better.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely going to be good enough to, you see this pendant, it's an ancient Mesoamerican style pendant that's kind of laying on the ground.
Yeah, mine. I'm gonna grab it.
Okay. As you reach down and you grab this thing, you see Tloques, Popolocas instantly look at you, and you see the purplish energy burning deep within the sockets of this undead monster's eyes. And you have definitely gotten its attention.
Well, that was, I think, 5, 10, 20 for difficult terrain. I'm gonna use a bonus action to do my roguish dash and run away. So, hopping back down, be another 5, so I'm at 25, 30, 35, 40 of the 50 50 total I would have had. I'm gonna hide. Oh, okay. This is like this. I'm gonna hide behind this pillar here. Can't actually take the hide action, but I'm hiding.
Okay.
Wait, no. Have I actually used an action? Did that perception check count as an action or no?
No.
And I actually haven't used an action just yet. All I did was interact with objects. I'm gonna hide behind this pillar.
I got a question. Are we missing one of our players in initiative order?
I don't think so.
Everybody's here.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope.
Missed the kitty, unless it just goes on my turn.
Kitty would go in your turn.
Okay.
And Jot's gonna go on Gok's turn.
There you go. I hide behind
It
this.
goes on my turn, okay.
Okay, and then that's gonna be the end of your turn, sir?
Yep.
That brings us to one Mr. Blackrock.
Yo. Ah, man, right? This thing is... How high is this floating skull doing right now? You know? How... I guess I'm just saying, do I have a good enough shot with them if I did try to shoot a blast of eldritch energy
I think, how tall are you? Because I think we discussed this last week. I don't think you quite have the visual angle.
I do remember we discussed it. That's why I'm asking it now, because I totally forgot.
I think you're not quite tall enough to be able, because just the rim of this
No.
sarcophagus is 6 feet high, and you're like 4 foot something.
Yeah, I'm like 3.5 feet tall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
The hat makes me.
You can kind of see like a glowy purplish aura, and you know that these guys are freaking out about something. You might be able to see the top of his skull, but I would probably have to give you like disadvantage to hit him or something.
Okay. Dang, I wish I wasn't as small as I was, but I'm going to try to like. Okay. I kind of fireball. Really silly. This counts as difficult terrain. Like, probably what?
So you'd be 25 if you climb up there.
Okay. Wait, so like went 15 from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so to get on top would be 10 feet instead of 5 feet. So yeah, 25.
No. I'm gonna go over here and hide. No.
You just
Use my
immediately know.
phone. I'm not doing that. Just going to hide over in the corner until I get a better shot at it. With it.
Okay. So God goes running up to the sarcophagus, and he kind of looks up the height of this thing, and he just like, no. And he just turns around and runs over and gets back behind this column. You see Jot just kind of watching you, and he just kind of like flops over towards Brasnic a little bit, and he's like, yeah, that's that's the boss really just taking it to him, right?
Someone's confidence in our Lord and Savior, Gok.
Gok Blackrock can take out a dragon, but he's too lazy to go up the sarcophagus and possibly get shot by whatever this thing is.
Yeah, I mean, you're not like looking for familiars or anything, is you? Because I don't know about this.
I mean, we talked about this. You and I seem to share a thing of love and shiny gold things. I mean, if you really want to leave him, I'm down.
I mean, when you're right, you're right. You know what I mean?
God, Josh just throwing shade at me every single time after it became my familiar. Jeez.
Shiny gold things. All right. He doesn't like the.
Okay, well, that's
He liked it better when he was a full party member and he wasn't forced into this.
Yeah. But still, gosh, happened like nearly every session he's throwing shade at me. Jeez.
But unlike Gok, I'll actually pay you too.
All right, that brings us to one Catman, our own tree talker.
All right.
What would you like to do, sir?
Rafiki has a lot of movement being a kitty, so he is going to move down 45 of his 60 feet. As long as I can't move next turn, but I can double my speed. And he is going to, I guess, pokey the skull? It's really poke a skull, but yeah.
Okay. And keep in mind, it's 6 foot tall there. How tall are you?
How tall am I? Oh, let me check.
You can also climb up the 2
6
feet.
foot tall.
You can also climb up those 2 feet. You can like stand on that.
Yeah, you might save some movement just to climb up on it, stab him, instead of going around. But whatever you want to do is definitely your call. It is your turn.
Yeah, it wouldn't be that much of a difference. Being 6 foot and being 6 foot up and having a tall, or having a spear, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely just like even reach up or jump up a little bit, just stab out, kind of a thing.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'm just gonna go, pokey pokey.
Okay. Go ahead and roll the pokey pokey.
Now, question, is that considered flanked?
Yes.
Yep, you got diagonal.
I was just curious because it was different levels of,
I mean, it's technically flanking.
Yeah, if it's engaged in combat with something on the opposite side of it.
Right.
True. And that's +2, right?
It is, but go ahead and roll me a wisdom save real quick.
That is true. I am not wise.
And is there a penalty for natural?
Damn.
There are no penalties generally
I
for
know.
save fails.
I know. So as you go up to this thing, you just kind of stop as it just kind of looks over towards you, and just the intensity of the unnerving glare that this thing sets upon you, and you just kind of freezes you in your tracks for a moment. I think normally you would have an opportunity to attack something else, but
Yep, he gets another attack. The whole thing with Sanctuary is you have to save each attack you do. So if you have like 3 attacks, you do 3 different wisdom saves generally.
Ooh, maybe I can roll 2 next.
The creature must choose a new
I
target.
used Sanctuary a lot in
Spell.
one game, so I'm very aware of how each time any attack or spell is used against you.
You just
and
lose that particular attack, but since you're
Correct.
a multi-attack, as Adam has stated, then you definitely are going to get that second attack if you want to try again.
Yep. I just got that nervous cat look where it's like, I just know what to do. And I'm
It's
attack
true.
again.
Go ahead and roll.
But here's a wisdom save. Jeez.
Not quite enough.
First person to roll above like a 15 tonight, it's gonna be proud.
I rolled a 15. I'm good.
I rolled a 14. That's the
I
highest
meant
thing
on an
rolled.
attack.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Alright, I'm still gonna have that scared cat look like, what's going on?
Yes,
And,
just the undead nature of this creature is definitely far too unnerving for you. So and that's going to be the end of your turn. Do you have any movement left?
Yeah, but I'm gonna stand my ground.
All right. So at the end of the round, you guys see more of this dust, this bone dust, the debris and everything starting to come together. You see this skeleton now just kind of sitting up, and you see it kind of raising its hands, and you see the arms again now reformed. On its wrists, you see these 2 jade bands about 4 fingers wide around each wrist. On one finger, you see a gold band. On another one, you see a kind of a darkish brown sort of a band. You're not really sure what the composition is, and as you see it kind of raising up its arms, kind of looking down around itself, you see even like wisps of hair coming down off of this thing. You can see like these golden jade beads kind of woven into the wispiness that's left in the hair, as you see it starting to grow out of the skull now. And as it kind of sits there, you see it finally starting to become a full skeleton.
Oh, good. I got something to suplex properly now.
No, don't do that.
Okay.
We won! Oh,
No, don't do that either.
Hooray!
What's going on?
1 second.
my kitty glare scared him away. What? That's how it happened, right?
It's true. So,
Oh, it looks like he's out of turn order.
because I deleted him.
Cool.
That's way better.
Yeah, well, it was a 13, I believe.
This part. Still way better. Just saying. Okay.
Or there goes a 20 we could have used.
I thought it was a 13.
No, it's 14. Okay.
It wouldn't change. It wouldn't change position, anyways.
Doesn't make a bit of
Yeah.
difference.
Okay.
Okay.
We all good for end of round?
We are. And what would you like to do on your turn?
Range. You can see where it is. Can I, like, get on my tippy toes and see him? I'm like 5'10" or something. Or is tall.
You could
Or
see, yeah, he's kind of sitting up
Oh.
now.
Sorry, never mind. She's short. I thought she was a different character. She's only 5'6", so no, she can't like see that well.
Okay.
For my plan, I have to get closer. It's another 10, so that's 15. And then can I go here for like 25, or can I like get on here just so I can like peek in without getting into that square? Nah, it's fine. I'll peek in. I'll like, it doesn't matter.
Okay. So
and I will. Oh, sorry.
You climb up enough onto there just to kind of be able to push yourself up enough just to see
it. Mm-hmm.
See him. Okay.
What can I determine about him?
Go ahead and roll a quick perception check.
Trying to determine what this creature is.
Still can't really tell more details than before. The Mesoamerican armor just kind of throws off any identifiable means of being able to tell at this time.
Okay. Then I will cast... where is it? I'll create a bonfire underneath him. And as that does not technically attack him, it should not trigger Sanctuary. It targets a location on the ground, and then any creature within that space then has to make rolls. Which is not an attack. I target the ground, not him.
Can go with that. This is a dexterity saving throw.
Oh wait, never mind. I actually don't. It's any harmful spell. Well, that's up to you.
You're casting it underneath him in intent to harm him. It's a harmful spell.
Okay, yeah. That's you're that's fair.
Yeah.
There's the intent to harm.
Okay.
Okay, well, I make the wisdom save at least.
There you do. Okay, so you are going to cast this bonfire right underneath him. Let's make that dexterity saving throw. It's a save right there.
And Maru's gonna stay there.
Okay. So as you kind of step, push yourself up enough, do you like get all the way to your feet, or how are you positioned on the edge of this? Sarcophagus?
I have like my feet as two on the little slabs. That
on the dolomite.
Yeah.
Okay. How tall did you say you were? 5?
5'6".
Okay. Yes, because the actual slab of stone is 4 feet high, so standing on top of the dolomite, you'd still have a foot 6. So.
Okay, there is a fire. Let me put it in there.
Yes, I'm not stoked about this bonfire.
The fact that he's actually moving on the map is creeping me out just a little bit every time I switch tabs.
Let's make that. I'm going to throw that on the map layer.
And in fashion, it will start burning anything that's not carried or worn will start burning.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, and that's definitely a rule that I'm going to stick to because I don't feel like 12 dice rolls every time someone throws a fire. So. What's up, Blake?
Oh no, I'm just saying to our local thief, hey look, more treasures getting burnt up.
I hate you.
Bonfires are not hot enough to melt gold. You need like very, very hot things to melt gold.
Yep. Like specifically Dragonfire level hot.
I don't like you. I don't care. Stop it.
Okay, and is that going to be the end of your turn, sir? Is that it for Mara?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yes.
Zigzag. What is Zigzag going to do? let's see, 5, 10, 20, 25, 30 to there. Come on, Zigzag, you got this. He's gonna try another arrow. See what happens. Okay.
That's a third critical in just about as many turns.
But it still has to make the wisdom save.
Oh, that's right.
It's true. Could have been wasted. Okay.
Come on, Zigzag, make the save. Hey!
That's a save right there.
Hey.
Okay. So, being undead.
Oh, it's probably immune to poison.
Not always. I mean, he is a skeleton, so probably poison's going to do dick gall right now, but
I
maybe.
don't know.
Maybe. Yeah.
You're right, and I know there are actually a few interesting cases where you'd expect things to be immune to poison, but they're not. I mean, some poisons actually attack, like, will mess with like cellular stuff.
Let's see if this guy is.
Let's see. Poisonous skin. So, just for the folks at home, our little frog friend has poisonous skin. He's actually kind of a anthropomorphic little poison dart frogman. So he does have poisonous skin. It does have a DC 12 Constitution saving throw, or become poisoned. So this poison damage isn't going to be automatic every time he does this. They do have to roll versus that poison with a DC 12. So let's go ahead and have Tloques roll that real quick.
It looks like it also gives the poisoned condition, which has its own rules as well.
Not with this one. It's a part of an attack. It's just straight poison damage. Only if they're in contact does it actually apply poison condition.
Okay, so that poison damage
see,
is
yeah.
not going to apply. But there is that 10 points of piercing damage that definitely applies. And as you see Zigzag kind of, he just kind of quickly hops over to his point. And as he turns, he just quickly like pulls his bow and in one smooth motion fires this arrow off. And you see it just pierce right through the back of this skull. And you see the arrow just pointing out right out of this thing's mouth now. And you see it just kind of throwing its head backwards and around.
So the people next to our lovely skeleton warrior sees that the arrow seems to be fully effective, right?
It doesn't seem to do quite actually as much damage as you thought it should.
Mm.
So, Zigzag used all of his movement to get to there, so he is going to stop there. But at the same time, we have one rat tool Xorakk.
Hunter mark on it? You did say he casted Hunter mark on the
I did.
first.
Oh, okay, that's the 6, and the poison was the 9.
2 more.
That's right. Why is it
Yeah.
3 plus 1? Oh, it's 1d4 and 1d4.
It's double the dice. It doubles the dice.
I know, but what's the...
Oh no, it should have
I'm just
been.
wondering what the plus 2 is from.
+2 is from the hunter's mark.
No.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, I see. Yeah, so there should be 4 Hunter's mark damage on him.
Oh, it's just...
Hunter's mark total was 4 damage. The
Yes.
poison was the rest of it.
Okay. Oh, that means that other 9 had some damage in there too. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 was the total damage that this creature just took from that attack. From the hunter's mark. So, yeah, definitely explodes right out the back of this thing's head, or through the back of this thing's skull, and you see this arrow kind of sticking out of its mouth now. Ratul.
Second verse, same as the first. I'm going to see if I can grapple this bastard.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. Roll that wisdom save first.
Right.
Those home, grappling does actually count as an attack. It is underneath the special attack.
Yep, I remember. Yep,
Yeah,
I remember
it's a
that,
special
and I
attack.
just thank you for the reminder. But yeah, I remember that grapple is type of attack. So, come on, wisdom save, be good. Nope, grapple is wasted.
It is.
Inspiration.
Oh yeah. Screw it. I'm going to be burning all my inspiration just for this one guy. Just this entire room is just sucking all my inspiration.
Yeah, you gotta get more inspired, man. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and burn inspiration to reroll that.
Curse you, Gibbs. Keep saving these guys over and over again.
Come on, be inspired.
Yes!
You're inspired. Grapple an undead skeleton.
That was the ultimate use of inspiration. That is a quick wraparound for old Ratul from last week. Oh my goodness. You just got the honorable scoundrel from Miss Lee. Man. Okay. So you... I hate everything about this.
lot of crits tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Can I just describe how this one goes?
Do I even roll?
Do you even have a modifier that can beat 27?
Do I even roll against this?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, as soon as he tries to do his jibber jabber shift away, I just break through the spell itself and I just grab him by the neck, grab him by the base of his spine, and I just power lift him out.
Okay. Alright, so you guys see the big green monster just reach right
Keep
up
him
and
there.
just grab a hold of this skeleton right by the neck. Right
Like
above
push him
the
down
rib
into
cage.
the fire.
Okay. That's the end of your turn?
I have a bonus action.
What is that bonus action?
Second wind.
Oh jeez. He went for it.
Push him into the fire.
Gotta start
I
getting
heal for 2.
Okay. Hey, you know.
Better than healing for 1, you know? Except, I know you have a +1 modifier to it, but, you know, whatever.
No, that is literally the lowest I can roll for restoring with second wind.
You could roll the D10 for that if you'd like.
That is the D10. That's the D10 plus my warrior level, which is 1. I rolled a 1 on the D10.
No, he
An
means
additional
the additional D10 you have from Gibbs.
That doesn't work with second wind.
Sure.
No, it's D10 for everything.
You can use that D10 roll for any single dice roll that you would like to use it for.
Wait, seriously?
Mm-hmm.
I'm saving that for later.
Wow.
And that'll be the end of my turn.
I didn't know that either. Damn, I'm gonna save it for later, too.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I cursed on the Christian Twitch.
Yeah, if there's any, you can curse on Twitch. I have it set so you actually have to accept the fact that it is a stream for adults before you can watch the show. So,
God.
yeah, when the fans out there donate those dice rolls instead of those inspiration. The inspiration is obviously helpful. It's already saved you guys a couple times just in this one encounter in this room. So, but those dice rolls are also super helpful as well. So, you guys don't even know. You guys don't even know. This room, you guys have been so lucky in this room already twice.
Well, that'll be my turn. So now it's Mr. Bones' turn as I have him grappled.
You do have him grappled, and... Oh, what happened?
Which means that if he stays in that square, he'll take more fire damage, potentially.
So... Tloques is not happy. Let's do this real quick. Oh, fuck off with that. Jesus. Okay, sorry. My children of the night are going to be delayed by all the thick stone, I guess.
Wow.
Okay. So there's that. Let's do this. As you grab a hold, and you're grabbing it from where you are there, so you kind of got it from the side, because it was kind of angled towards you, like its right shoulder would have been towards you. Okay. As you're kind of holding on to it, this creature starts gesturing. And as it does so, you see its mouth kind of working around this arrow that's still kind of embedded in there. And you see its hand start to move, and as it does so, this darkness just instantly starts to erupt out of its mouth and out of its eyes. You see it kind of erupting all from around this creature as it casts Spirit Guardians. And you see...
Oh no!
I will cast with my last third level slot.
Okay. And you don't have to roll when it's third or less, right?
Yep, and Spirit Guardians is third or less.
It is. So, as this magical energy is starting to emanate out of this creature, Mara, instantly responding with your reaction, you see the weave that this creature is developing, and you've seen Spirit Guardians cast at this point enough now that you instantly know what this creature's about to do, what this creature's about to call forth amongst this group. And you use your magical ability to counter the weave that this creature is creating, and instantly the effect dissipates, and it kind of... What is this?
Sanctuary.
And you see the creature can't move.
All its defenses are down. It can't move. It's on my fire. We shall kill this thing.
Laughs in Ratul.
It's being held by a big green machine. Okay. Well then, I don't think it can do anything on a bonus action. Or not a bonus action, but it cast a spell, and that's all it can do. So there. Oh.
Yep, and Spirit Guardians is down because I mean, Sanctuary is down because Spirit Guardians is a spell that affects an enemy.
That's true. Sanctuary is down.
At the end of its turn, it's going to have to roll a DC 16 or higher.
Oh my god, that's the highest bonfire you've ever rolled.
Yeah, let's see if it works.
That's a pretty bonfire right there. Okay. More like a freaking Burning Man thing.
Oh my!
Alright, as you see this fire start igniting the lower parts of this creature, as it screams out in pain, that's 15. Okay, takes full damage. And as this creature just kind of starts...
Total enemy.
Just thrashing around, being held in place by Ratul. And Ratul, you even kind of feeling the heat of this bonfire, just kind of, narrowing your eyes and gritting down, focusing against the heat of this bonfire, holding this creature to the flames.
Feel the wrath of bear.
So a total of 15. Okay, good job. Brasnic. You see your teammates starting to have an effect on this creature.
Gonna one section of dash so I can get over here next to my buddy. And gonna pull like 5 of the arrows from my quiver and thrust them at our frogman, since my arrows are magical.
He kind of stops and he looks at you and looks down at the arrows. And he just kind of gives you a nod, quickly snatches him.
And then that's my interact with objects, right?
Yep.
Pretty much. Yeah, so after that, I'm going to go ahead and then myself notch an arrow since Ratu is holding and notch an arrow and fire off at him.
Okay.
I moved a lot.
Woo!
That's
gonna hit.
26 hit.
Okay.
Okay, does this have, yeah, it has the +1 to the hit, right? It has a, okay, cool. This is all magical piercing damage.
From the arrows?
Mm-hmm. Arrows are +1 arrows, so.
Okay. And you know these are expended once you use them, right?
Mm-hmm, I know.
I thought they weren't.
The magic is expended.
Oh, okay.
They're consumables, basically.
What was... oh, sneak attack. Alright, so 22 points of damage.
22 points, magical piercing damage. And then I'm gonna sneak back behind this pillar here.
Okay.
With the last bit of my movement.
You see the arrow just kind of points or just shoves itself right through the chest, through the back of this thing. You see Brasnic's arrow kind of poke out of the chest plate of this this ancient, almost seems like a studded leather of sorts. This creature's work.
Wow, that armor survived? That means it's magical.
Kinda want it.
It's,
Man has style.
It's compromised of jade and onyx.
Okay, now I really want it.
Dibs on it. Dibs.
Why do you get dibs? You don't even... No dibs for you.
You know, if you wear it,
I
you're gonna
get
look
super-
like a Mesoamerican person. Like it's super like back in the day, retro gear.
Yeah.
I mean, he's gonna have
Totally into that.
he's gonna have the golden jade across his chest with it, the crown of black the black teeth of the dragon. He's just gonna look like the crown prince of Mesoamerica.
I mean, look, it works because I'm actually part Mayan. I'm my grandma, so I'm.
That's for sure.
I dig
Yeah, works. So dibs.
I like it. Okay, so, and this, I feel like this new lighting setup is so fantastic, it's almost too much. Let's turn that down a couple of shades. Okay, so, that is going to be the end of your turn, is that correct?
Yep, all done.
Okay. Fantastic effort, sir. And that brings us to one Gok Blackrock.
Okay, so totally not knowing about that information, I will try again, realizing. Need to move 25 feet onto it. Wait, can I go diagonal?
Yes.
Yeah? Or no?
Yeah.
Do one diagonal for 5 feet. It's 2 diagonals for 15 feet.
Well,
Unless there's difficult terrain, diagonal does not take away from any type of move.
No, it doesn't take an extra movement. So you
so
would
I
be
could still do it if I got
5 to here,
5 to here.
10 to there,
Uh-huh.
20 to there.
Okay. Yeah, I just realized I probably could have done that. Well, actually, no, I.
So
But I can do it now.
So you climb up, get your hands up there, push yourself up to the top, climb up, and then as you kind of get to the top of this thing, raising up your infinity gauntlet, staring across this crypt.
I'm going to use 4 charges of this guided bolt. Of 1. No?
Your one
But
magic
sorry,
missiles?
magic missiles. Yeah, sorry.
I was about to say, You have a wand of guiding bolt? Jesus
Oh,
Christ!
No.
That's way too OP. I'm not sure if I've analyzed that enough.
Yeah. And can tell that I've experienced with this game. I just got it wrong.
Hey man.
No, I'm just saying, like, if Magic Missile 1 is like the Glock of wizards, Wand of Guiding Bolt is like the hand cannon.
Yeah.
Or the freaking shotgun.
Okay.
It's
And
alright,
I will
man.
use
I'm learning every week.
Fury of the Small on the first one.
Okay.
I mean, unless he's like the exact same size I am, that'll be kind of awkward. Like, just a really.
Is this a small creature?
It is a medium-sized creature.
Well, then there you go. I can still use it.
Alright,
Hey.
get furious.
Yay. So. Okay. Wait. What?
Okay.
Magic
so,
missile.
Oh, I did. Okay, I didn't see it because I was looking at Brasnic thing. Scroll down. Okay, that's the first one.
Okay.
So that.
And what's
9.
that? Fury of the small damage was 9 total?
Yeah, because it's like 5, and then the 4 that I had with it, so 9 damage.
Okay.
Ooh, bam!
So,
Another one.
As Gok stands up, he finally stands up, and as he points down the Infinity Gauntlet at this creature, you hear him just kablabbity blah blah, and he just lets loose with this mote, and you see it just fly into this creature, and just as it lands right into right above where Ratul is holding it, and just you just see this explosion of magic, and you just see the whole thing just sag and crumple into Ratul's hand.
What? Oh, okay. I guess I don't use the, I only need 1 charge.
Actually, on 1 charge, you get 3 bolts.
Yeah, so roll another one.
Okay, well, I'll roll another one then. Can I use...
Also, you can't really take back charges.
Yeah, so
No, I used 4 charges, so where am I gonna fire this thing?
you're literally just gonna you're literally just gonna blast him full of holes like he's
Wait, were you trying to do 4 bolts or?
No, I said I expended 4 charges.
You were gonna do 7 bolts?
Yeah. No, I said 4 out of 7, you know? Still a lot.
So
You
1
got 2
charge
more.
equals a first level spell, 4 charges will equal a 4th level spell, so a total of 6 bolts to fly into this guy.
Okay.
No, it's 3. Oh yeah, it's 6. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
as
one more.
Gok just unleashes this barrage of magic missiles into this creature, you see it just kind of like just all over the place, getting rocked by these magic missiles. It almost like, have you ever seen the firework, the little screamer rockets, when you light it off and it's just like like everywhere? Yeah. That's kind of what comes out of Gok's fist right now. And as these motes just kind of just slam into this creature, you see it just getting rocked by all of these magic missiles, and finally you see it just kind of hanging limply, rags and bone, in the fist of Ratul.
I don't
Probably
think
also
it's dead yet.
said, "Curse you, Gok of the Blackrock!" Whoa!
And you hear from across the road, "Got the Dragon Slayer is back! He does it again! Yeah! He just came in and he destroyed another bad guy! Yeah! King Gok!"
See? I've smited it again. Oh, that's the wrong voice for Gok. There we go. Yeah! I smited it again! Booyah!
I like it. Okay.
Like, what is the Skeletor thing, okay? The gave.
So,
Even though I totally didn't have that.
let's go ahead and move to Rafiki real quick. Now it's the end of your turn, right, Gok?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Rafiki, what do you think about this situation?
So it's just like dead limped in Ratul's arms.
You
see it kind of just hanging limply in his fist right now.
It's playing dead. We gotta kill it more.
It's already dead. Look how many shots I shot.
We gotta burn his body to ash.
You mean not before I take that sweet digs he had on, you know? That.
Okay.
Not its gear.
Rafiki's gonna walk up to Gok and give him that little kitty nuzzle that he, for happiness. Like, good job, my friend. And yes, that is how Rafiki will spend his turn, just nestling on Gok for doing a good job.
Okay. So you go over and you kind of nuzzle. So you're just kitty booping? The little goblin?
Just kitty booping.
Just goes over and just kind of, you see this big jaguar man just kind of like nuzzle into you with his forehead and full on kitty boops you.
Greyback was right about you. You are a slayer.
And that's going to be the end of your turn?
And that's the end of my turn.
Okay. Does Gok respond to this at all?
I don't know how to respond to Crazy Tree Man.
Ah, kitty boobs.
You did a lot of damage. Holy crap!
What?
You ended up doing like 28 damage. No, sorry, you did 23 damage. It's pretty great.
Yeah. See,
You
that's
forgot
the
the
power
period.
when I'm actually serious. Super serial.
Yeah, it's 26. You're right. 26 damage.
A lot of damage. Yeah. It's just, I have to. With great power comes great responsibility and all that,
As Gok says this, and I'm assuming that's the end of Rafiki's turn.
Oh yeah, that's his turn.
Okay. So, we are coming to the end of the second round, and as such, with holding, as Ratul is kind of holding this thing out, and Rafiki kind of goes over and says, "You are the Slayer." Suddenly, you just hear this. And you see now this flesh starting to fill out on the skeleton. As you see it again raise its head up, and you see this flesh starting to creep back and starting to fill itself out and starting to become more human.
Not dead. Very much not dead.
There's no way it was like gonna be that easy.
The third form or something? Is it like?
Can we tell what this creature is at this point?
Mara, go ahead and roll another check. Another nature check.
Nature check? Okay.
Is that what we rolled the first time, right? It was nature?
Yeah, I got a 19.
Oof.
Anyone else that's there can... Well, let's see.
Ratul would have no idea. I'm not going to make
a lot
roll.
of undead things are Arcana.
I would say
Because-
Brasnic would get a chance, and Rafiki would get a chance, just because he was raised on these legends.
Generally, like undead creatures, you use Arcana because it's magical in nature.
Okay, go ahead and roll Arcana. That's fine.
Did I do one too? Because I haven't.
Depends. Just to clarify, it depends. Because there has to be something to give you a defining feature. So nature is normally done because you can tell by body shape and all that stuff. Arcana is great and all, but that's just arcane knowledge. You don't really. You need something to proc it.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah,
Then
generally
ignore-
you
ignore
reserve.
my-
Yeah, sorry, just my little 2 cents here as a player and a DM. Arcana is usually reserved for knowledge of stuff like magics, glyphs, spell scrolls, high arcane things like crystals and such. Nature is pretty much for everything else that would cover nearly the
What
same
about-
but different.
I thought magical creatures generally you could use Arcana for as well.
You would think so, but no, actually it's nature. Magical creatures are basically a type of biology, a fauna.
Understanding the biology of the creature.
I'm trying to remember in some of the older editions they had some creatures you could use Arcana to identify.
Okay. I like that definition, though, and nature does make sense.
Makes sense. Okay. So I can't.
So, you guys do have inspiration. Anyone that wants to use something like that could definitely do so.
Wait, I got a 19 for nature.
You do. And standing back here and kind of watching this thing as the flesh starts filling out into this creature, you just suddenly realize that this creature is definitely some sort of vampire. But you feel like there's something different from anything you've heard about vampires. in any of the legends that you've read, any of the history books.
I'm gonna ask, does anyone know what this thing is? It just keeps getting back up.
Kind of like a vampire, but not really. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, look, it's weird. Okay.
When he says vampire, what do I know about vampires?
I would say probably typical stuff. Typical weaknesses.
So like sunlight.
Yeah, sunlight, running water.
Perfect. I'm gonna have my drift globe come over and cast daylight.
Okay. Go ahead.
That once per day. So I don't have it on my character sheet, but that's their special ability. We didn't put it into the drift globe sheet because we were using them separate. But drift globes, just their ability innately is to cast light and daylight once per day.
Mm-hmm.
Just an FYI for you, daylight is actually not considered sunlight, so it's not going to hurt the vampire.
I know, but Amara doesn't know that. She just knows it's weak to light, so she's trying to use light.
Yeah, she's literally in the panic. We're in the combat. She's seeing something suddenly regenerate even more and more, even though it shouldn't be able to. So she's kind of in a panic state.
Yeah, so I mentally command the drift globe to use daylight. Let me see what's the actual thing for drift globes. Is it daylight?
It is daylight. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't actually harm.
No, daylight does not.
Okay.
Shows light completely covers. Yep. It sounds like it should, so that's what she does.
Yeah. Just like
No. Go do the thing. It's fine. Seeing as she thinks she has it, seeing it regenerate, she's gonna attempt to cast Chill Touch on it.
Okay.
Wait, is it an action to command the globe to use daylight, or just a free action?
No. The glow. The actually.
It's actually. I was just about to ask that question myself.
It's a mental command because it's my familiar, so I'm unsure.
I think that would probably be on par with Gok asking Jot to do something with the mental command, and then it would be on Jot to actually fulfill that. So I would say that this would kind of be on the same level as that. So.
It's the familiar's action, not the actual caster's command.
Correct.
Alright, sorry, it's just my understanding of what Drift Globe is like.
That's a good clarification.
You also sort of have to roll your Chill Touch again because you're in melee.
I am in melee, correct.
So as this light does flare out from this drift globe, you see the creature kind of like put up its hand like it's expecting this pain, this burning to happen, and then it just kind of like stops and it's like weak magics, try some of mine. Okay. 13 is not going to be enough to hit.
Okay. I guess I'll stay there. I forgot that it was a ranged attack, and I forgot that I was within melee with it. Okay. So that's my turn.
All right. Zigzag. So not happy about this situation.
Making it dead. We'll find a way to kill it.
Wait, damn it.
Chill Touch will stop its regeneration.
It's true.
Unfortunately, Chill Touch shouldn't hit.
Sadly,
it's just got hit.
Okay. Yeah. Zigzag. What are you gonna do, buddy? He's gonna take one of those +1 arrows. And he's gonna let loose on this bastard.
The thumbs up from behind the pillar.
Well, he can see him.
I said I give a thumbs up from behind the pillar as he uses my arrow.
Oh, I heard you. I just heard you say behind the pillar.
All right, the first one's going to hit. The second one is not. Oh wait, it does because he has. Oh wait, does he get flanking? I don't think he does.
No,
No,
ranged do not ever get
He
flanking.
does not. So that's not going to hit. But that first one is for 7 points of damage, and full damage because it's magical. Thank you, sir. As it kind of hits in and it just easily penetrates through this armor that Popolocas is wearing here. It kind of like punches through and he kind of like looks back over at you, Brasnic, and he just kind of nods at you with a little frog-like smile on his face.
It should do 1 more damage as it's a
Yeah.
+1 arrow.
Every point counts.
For sure.
Oh, if it's a +1 arrow, does that 16, which becomes a 17 hit?
Does not.
Oh, very nice.
Does not hit.
Oh boy. Which means it's an 18 armor class.
Alright, so he is going to take one little hop over here, get himself some cover. Ratul, you see this thing knitting itself back together still within your grasp.
Time to see if he actually recognizes this from his own olden days. As Ratul lifts him high up above his head.
The fire!
Your fire's inside the coffin! That's going to be really bad on my back!
That's the conversation you have in the middle of combat.
And switching my positions as the flesh is kind of making it harder to grab onto his bony spine of a neck. To grab him, to basically bear hug him across the chest. And I suplex.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. As this is happening, just to kind of finish up Zigzag's turn, he kind of looks over at you, Brasnic, after he hops over and he kind of like gets behind the pillar and he kind of looks at you and he just croaks at you. Mara, go ahead and roll a perception check.
Should I hold on my roll in mid-swing?
Just 1 second on that, sorry. You hear this croak from just, it's like in the midst of battle and all of this chaos and stuff going on around you, and somehow, just from across the room, you hear these words spoken by Zigzag in his grung language, and you hear him say, "The mask. We must get the mask back on him." In the grung language, whispered to Brasnic. Go ahead and roll that suplexer.
Suplex!
Yeah, don't
Right,
know that.
I wanted to... Right, before I go ahead and plug through, just a quick check on my part. Sorry, should do this before game, but... did we say that with the suplex, is it just basically the environment that causes the damage, or do my gauntlet's special bonuses also apply into the final damage roll?
I would think that's more of the environment.
Right, just double checking. Right, suplex.
Okay.
19.
19's gonna hit. You do what you want with that guy right now.
As I just basically slam him right behind me in a big arc.
Okay. And you were asking for damage purposes, is that why?
Yeah, that was basically the reason why.
Okay. Because he is gonna have resistance to this.
As I hold him basically upside down in the suplex, one of my arms come back, and this will be the Dragon Flame Cestus as it pulls back and rams for a kidney punch.
Okay. What was the D4 for?
To basically determine which of the gauntlets are going to use to punch him with.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and roll that attack. What's going on here? Oh, thank you so much for that donation, Witch Ely. I appreciate you so much for that. It's a $20 donation, so that means that you can, there's some rewards listed there. If you want to give these guys dice rolls, if you want to give them inspiration, go ahead and check that out, and let me know. See if maybe you can help these guys defeat old Mr. Tloques Popolocas here.
Ooh, that's a 15, so unfortunately I get caught up with the armor.
You do, and as you're kind of getting, your fist around, you got the suplex on him, and as you're kind of getting around, you're able to just, you get the blow out, but it does kind of just glance off of this chest plate.
Oh, wait, right. Okay, remind me if I'm wrong, but didn't we say that with the suplex that does put him into a prone position?
Yeah.
Advantage!
It's true.
Prone in the fire is not a good position.
Well, I mean, he said he
with
did
the
an
suplex,
arc, so he's back over here.
Yeah, he would be about
over
here
there.
now.
Moved him out of the fire. Why would you move him out of the
That's how
fire?
suplexes work. Damn it, with the advantage. Alright, that's gonna hit.
Ooh, that's magical too.
Okay. How much is that?
That is a grand total of 13
14.
basic bludgeoning magical damage and 1 fire damage, so 14 total.
Okay. And so you slam Tloques Popolocas to the ground over here, and then you just slam one big massive dragon flame cestus fist into this creature, and you see it just kind of like laying there on the ground. It's just kind of like seems to just be barely moving, but moving still it is.
I'm going to keep the German bridge going for this, and my turn.
Okay. That brings us to this fine gentleman. Let's see. He doesn't like you. So, he is going to possibly just really hurt you right now. You see this, he just kind of reaches up with one claw, and you see this black kind of energy like starting to manifest around it, and he just kind of slashes up right at your arm as you grapple the hold of him. That's a miss. I'm gonna use one of my inspirations right now. Thanks, kids. I appreciate you. You're awesome.
Oh no!
So let's go ahead and roll advantage on that bad boy.
Which is actually straight, because he's prone.
Well, it's because of the inspiration. I kind of get the reroll anyway.
Yeah,
But this
that
is
would
an
be a disadvantage.
advantage. Yeah.
So
That
that first roll should have been that 10 and 22. Then you would have rolled the inspiration, unless you used an inspiration on that first one as well.
What?
No.
That
That's
first roll was a disadvantage, I thought.
Oh, their melee attacks are a disadvantage, aren't they?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
No, it does have
prone.
disadvantage on attack rolls, so that would have been the 10 result from the 10 and the 22, so I do have to roll again. You're correct. This is for the inspiration roll.
That means 22 is the lowest of them, so yeah, that's going to hit.
Okay. So, as this creature claws into you, and you feel this necrotic energy Do.
Fire theme song. Be careful, if you do that any longer, we might get a copyright violation.
For what?
It sounded like the Street Fighter theme song.
Oh.
What you just said.
Yeah.
Whatever, it was a bad joke.
Let's see.
I want you to grapple him, Indigo.
Oh my god.
Grappling each other.
He is grappling.
Reverse grapple.
Okay, so, 2 things.
Wait, is that possible?
Yeah.
Wait, I've asked this many times myself. Crap.
So,
Well,
2 things here. One, you are going to have resistance to that slashing damage. However, you are not going to have resistance to necrotic damage from this creature.
what?
You can actually bypass resistance?
It can bypass necrotic damage because this creature is not just a vampire. It is also a cleric of Xorakk.
Which means it will have its necrotic damage bypass resistance. Oh boy.
It has this lovely ability. So,
Oh no!
you, my friend, are going to take that full 4 necrotic damage. It is also going to use another ability against you, my friend. Because it is going to use one of its Channel Divinity options for the day. And you feel this negative energy just wrap into your arm. You feel it just plunge into your very essence, diving into your inner soul, just your essence within you, just raking across your form as you take an additional 25 points of necrotic damage.
Oh! Ow! Oh! Oh! Ow! Ow!
What level cleric is this?
That's a 10th level cleric.
Holy mackerel.
Rectal's hurting. Rectal's really hurting now.
Okay. Okay. Wow.
Bet we wish we had a cleric now.
Nah, it's whatever.
I
If
mean,
we
we can-
start to lose, we could just blow up this whole place.
If it really comes down to it, fireball everything.
Well,
I'm just saying. I said before we started tonight that running should be on the table.
I mean, we had it dead.
twice, technically. Twice.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get it dead again. I mean, I can just stop it from regenerating, and then it will just...
Yeah, Ratul, just keep being a punching bag for it. You got it. You got it.
So, that is going to be the end of his turn. He actually does get a second claw attack, doesn't he? That was the first one. Let's call out you again then. But this time he's not using the Channel Divinity. And you're not going to take the necrotic damage because you can only do it
Still
once
at
per turn.
disadvantage. It's still a disadvantage.
It is still at disadvantage.
Still hits.
Still going to be a hit. So we'll take the damage on the first one. We'll half that down to 4 and ignore that necrotic damage because it only can do that once per turn.
Roger, roger.
So that's good. So that is going to bring us to Mr. Brasnic Grindstone. You have no idea what Zigzag just said to you, but you hear this scream of pain erupt out of your monstrous friend across the room.
Yep. Okay. Ignoring Zigzag, so I'm glad he actually used arrows. I'm actually gonna drop my short bow that I'm wielding down here and pull my Dragon Fang dagger and loop around to stab a motherfucker who's prone.
Okay. Go ahead and roll with advantage.
Alright. Yeah, might as well do it. Let me go ahead and use Green Flame Blade on this part anyway. So, might as well. Where is the... There we go. Oh, also, as the weapon is descending, gonna go ahead and use that command word Envenom to get that acid damage going.
Okay.
$23 to hit.
23 hits.
I'm gonna have to add other stuff to it. So here's this, and then one more. It's one more d6 and one more d6 and one d8
Okay.
for the green flame heart and the acid damage.
Okay.
That could just be hopeful thinking.
Damn.
Yeah. So
They would have had
30
the game. Holy
unless
crap.
it's resistant, unless it's resistant to fire or acid, it'd be 31 damage in total. All of it magical.
Okay.
Love rogue.
Jeez. You guys really want this thing to die.
I mean,
Yeah.
even if we can't kill it, we're basically putting it through so much pain that it's technically dying over and over again.
This is true.
You undead thing, die again, please. Stay dead.
Okay.
Me?
And is that going to be the end of your turn, sir? So as you stab down with your brand new dagger, this black dragon tooth dagger, as you stab into this thing and speak the command word, you see the black acidic just dripping off of the length of the blade on this dagger. As you plunge it down inside, you hear it sizzling against the bone and against some of this armor that rests on this creature. And you feel it thrash again against you. And as it kind of just kind of throws its arms around and thrashes against you for a minute, and then it just kind of falls back down against the stone.
If I can see it, I'm gonna say, get the mask onto it.
As I have a dagger plunged into this guy and he's thrashing around, do I happen to see a mask?
Rafiki, Gok, and Mara roll with advantage. Ratul, go ahead and roll. Brasnic, you do not see a mask.
Wait.
Alright, since I don't see a mask, I'm gonna go ahead and bonus action dash back away.
Okay. All right. So Rafiki and Gok, you guys see suddenly looking across the way here, you see this golden mask laying in the sarcophagus, basically at Mara's feet. Ratul, you also see this. Well, actually, you probably wouldn't see it at all, because it would be down far enough in there that there's just no way that you would be able to see it.
Yeah, I mean, not to mention I'm still currently in the German bridge, so I'm literally looking at where the wall or the axe
sorry.
is.
Yeah, there's no way that you would have seen it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys do see it at Mara's feet. Mara did not see it. So. Actually, fuck, it's got to be like a 10, so yeah, I'd say Mara saw it too. It's like right at your feet, that's got to be like a 10 DC.
Yeah. ESA is like so close to Mars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So that is going to bring us to Gok in this turn order. And you hear Mara speak this phrase out. She says, get the mask back on the creature.
Man. What if I want to make it my precious? It's a cool golden mask. I don't know. I mean, sure. Try to. So I have to put it on him, right?
Or we could try and kill a vampire with radiant damage, but that's about it.
You see Gok flop
Daylight,
over
or was it
to the edge
the
of
one that
this
likes
thing.
you actually?
Jaw flops over to the edge of the sarcophagus and says, yeah, is this what you're talking about? Like right over here?
Yeah, get it on him.
Yeah.
You want me to get this bus?
Yeah, but no, I mean put it on him so we don't, you know. Well, actually, it's more like so Ratul doesn't die. Cause, he's looking a bit melty right now.
He flops over and he grabs
Dying?
this thing, and he just, with all of his strength, lifts it up into the air and flops over and lands down here on the ground as Ratul's kind of still holding on to the remains of this creature. And you see Jot try to put the mask. Let's go ahead and do a dexterity with advantage roll for old Jot here.
Hmm.
Because we still need to get the axe.
Okay. So, as Jot lands down, he's kind of holding this thing, it cling, kind of clings off of the stone. You see him kind of lift it up. He's, and he just kind of flops it over on top of this skull, and it kind of is like misplaced for a second. He just kind of gives it this kick, and it just kind of sits over on top of the face of this skull, and you instantly see this flash of purplish, and then it goes into like this bluish energy, and you see it just like suck back into this mask, and you see the whole body just kind of arch backwards as this mask is forced back onto the frame of this creature. That, my friends, is going to bring us to a very important dice roll. Because if you guys would have done this in the first 2 rounds, this would have happened automatically.
Well, we're learning from our mistake. I mean, it might have Ratul's life in the balance, but we learned. We're learning.
To kill it, like, if this puts it back into its suspended thing, it's not going to change anything.
I mean, yeah, but we could suspend it in animation and then figure out a way to kill it while it's stuck like that, Eh?
I guess someone could take it off, and then everyone else just wallops on it, and then someone casts something that can kill undead.
I mean, yeah, we could do that. We're basically just stopping this in time so we don't have a party member die right now. That'd be really ass.
I mean,
I realize I have a sacred flame spell scroll, which should be able to kill it.
You had that?
Yeah.
Really?
What?
Okay.
Dropping the ball right now, Mara.
Oh, interesting.
God dang.
I was looking through my stuff, okay?
If
And
literal,
I just found out it's not Sacred Flame. Sorry, it's Guiding Bolt. Never mind.
it's
I'm totally not
brilliant.
calling you out because I did the same thing.
So you see this magical energy. Actually, let's do one thing here real quick. It is 8:09, so let's go ahead and take a quick break. Grab some drinks, hit the bathroom, anything you guys want to do, whether it be player or viewer, and we will be back here in 2 and 2, and then we will see what happens next here, because there's some interesting developments to play out here. So we'll be right back. Go grab yourself something to drink. Oh, the monkeys. Let's see. So $10 towards inspiration and $10 towards extra dice for the team. So that means everybody is going to get 1 more inspiration point from Miss Lee. Thank you so much for the donation. And then, let's see, I think that will be, can someone look up on the cronusworld.live? And I think that should be a D6 for everybody.
A golden D6?
And if it's not, we'll just say it is.
Is that the inspiration, or do we get a d6?
Well, it's $10 towards the inspiration, because I think that's the team inspiration. Let me just look it up.
Team inspiration is 25, single inspiration is 10. 3 people get 1d8, or if the 25 with team, 6 people get 1d8. Who does that? Both sides.
Got some straight up old school battle music going here. Alright. Just gotta wait for this to load so I can meet it. Alright, so inspiration, $10 is for a team inspiration. Everybody is going to get that. So 3, 6, 9. I mean, it's 3 d6s, but let's go ahead and give everybody a d6. Why not? You guys can all get one of those golden d6s. I'm going to mark that down here. Go ahead and mark that down for yourselves.
Done.
Just because your DM loves you. Oh wait, I don't get one. Damn it. I almost marked one down for me too. Okay, so hey Gibbs, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Thanks for coming to hang out with us. All right, so back to this situation. So Gok, as Jock kind of goes over and he gets this mask onto the skull of Tloques over here, you see this magical effect. You see this magic kind of race out, and you see it kind of like come back again, but you see it kind of like flickering all of a sudden. Like it's not, it doesn't seem like maybe the enchantment is quite complete. And Brasnic, suddenly over next to you, you feel the light tap. And did we lose Brasnic?
Check some out.
Oh, okay. You feel a zigzag tap you, and he just kind of gestures like this, like around his neck, and he kind of does like this, and then he points to you.
So he's like pantomiming, putting something around the neck?
Seems to be.
I take out the amulet that I stole before.
He just kind of vigorously nods at you, and he kind of hikes his head over his shoulder.
Oh. Go from like, hey, I got a pretty thing to like, oh wait, you want me to put on him? I don't want to. I guess my better judgment, I guess I'll put the amulet back. Grumbling the entire time about kill people and losing money.
Okay. So what are you trying to do here? Because the only one, well, it's not your turn at the moment.
Oh, right. Sorry.
So it's going to be Rafiki's turn. We're just coming to the end of Gok's turn. But that was actually Jot. That was actually Jot that had put on that mask.
So Gok still got his turn.
Gok still has actions.
Yeah.
Keep blasting the corpse.
I've blasted the corpse a lot of times. Evidently he was not dead. I am gonna get off of this tomb though for my first part of this. Okay, which is gonna be like 25, right?
What?
We're getting off of this pillar of rock.
Going down doesn't take
yeah, I was going to say, honestly, that would just be a jump down. I wouldn't dock you an extra 5 for that.
Oh, perfect. go over here. Okay. The mask is still not on this guy yet, right?
No, the mask is on this guy, but it doesn't. There seems to be some kind of fluctuation within the magic, as if it's not quite complete.
Maybe I have to weaken him like in Pokemon, you know? And he'll get in his little ball.
Is Brasnic gonna say anything?
Fireball, right? That would work, right? Fireball.
I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah,
That'd be-
kill our 2 and Mara all in one shot. Good job.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
And
I'm just gonna Eldritch Blast this guy and, you know, I'll weaken him like I did with Pikachu and you know? Feed him like Pikachu. And he'll get his little ball again. Okay.
Well, he's technically prone.
Yeah, I was gonna say, actually.
So that would be at disadvantage, right?
Yep.
Yeah, but it's a non. It shouldn't have armor. Or its armor class should be quite low because it's now just a body on the floor.
Actually, isn't it considered incapacitated?
No,
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, if it's a regenerating creature, it doesn't, and it's not like dead. It gets its normal armor class. Just the way it is.
is it dead? Is it being resurrected, or is it like does it have 0 hit points, or is it like it just can't lose its last hit point? Because I think if it has 0 hit points, it's just dead. It just comes back from the dead.
I would say right at the moment, a straight shot is just fine. So that 19 would hit.
Well, then I will roll for damage.
Okay.
On the first one, then I'm gonna do it again.
What does Brasnic think about this new information he's just gotten?
Well, I'm real sad about this.
Oh.
I don't want to do it.
Does
Yeah,
anyone
well,
want to make a whole bunch of
happening
water?
anyway.
Make a giant waterfall come from the ceiling.
Well, there's only 2
Can
people
anyone
left
just
to go
create a
this
glass
round.
of water, splash in his face? What?
Alright, so you blast this corpse a couple times. The magical energy kind of washes over the corpse. You see bits of bone and this newly regenerated flesh starting to, get blasted off of this creature, still within the grasp of your friend, the big green orc. As the 2 blasts of magical energy wash over the corpse, it's still just kind of laying there, seeming to be dead. We have 1 person left to go this round. And that would be
Okay, Rafiki,
our cat.
do your thing. Whatever that is.
You got magical. You're a holy person.
I guess just because of the way we're positioned, Rafiki could probably see me talking. Probably not see our toad dude, but he could probably see me having the amulet in hand. And making like the motions towards Mr. Toad guy about how we have to return it.
Okay. Yeah, I would say that
so-
he could see Brasnic for sure.
So we're assuming Rafiki knows what he has to do.
No, I'm saying I was
No.
just about to say, if you can see me, I'm saying Brasnic calls out and says we might have to return the amulet too. As you can see him like holding on to the amulet.
Alright, well if you say that, then Rafiki will be smart. And with my lots of movement as a cat, I love that feline agility thing. I'm going to walk 25 to Brasnic.
Okay.
And be like, hand me the amulet.
Hand it over, but right when you pull it away, there's a moment of resistance.
He holds on to it just for a second, and then let's go.
Uh-huh.
As I try like 7 times for it. I will then walk 1, 2, 3 more. That's 45 of my 60. That's 45 of my 60, and then I'll use my action to put the pin it on the skeleton guy.
All right, go ahead and roll Dexter.
Dexterity. What was that?
Just Dexter. Straight Dexterity. It's not a very good roll.
Should be pretty easy
Then
to
I
put
would-
an amulet on a corpse.
That's in the
I will
middle
actually-
being German suplexed.
Yeah, there's a lot going on right now.
I'll use an inspiration.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. So just a little bit too much thrashing around. Just the way that Ratul, I mean, he is German suplexing him, so he's got his arm around this corpse's neck, you know, so I mean, there's a lot kind of going on around this creature's neck at the moment. Ratul may even have to let go of his grapple in order for you guys to get this necklace on this creature, if that's what you wish to do.
Hold him still, little guy, or green guy.
So that is going to bring us to the end of the round. And as such, again, you see all of a sudden this purplish energy lashes out of this creature's eyes, and you see the mask fly up off of the skull and just ting, 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 as it bounces across the stone to here near this axe, and you see the purplish energy pinpoints of light as it again starts thrashing, struggling. But you see the flesh is now much more coalesced. This creature is almost fully regenerated now, and you can definitely see the vampire-like traits of this creature as it's thrashing against you and growing ever stronger. Mara.
I'm gonna move 5 feet, and I will cast. One thing I can cast. Might as well. I'm gonna cast. I don't have it on my spell list, but I'm gonna use the spell scroll. I'm gonna pull out and cast Guiding Bolt.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm pulling up what it does in the chat.
An attack roll does 46.
Yeah, I know. I'm just putting it in chat. Guiding Bolt. Okay, never mind. That didn't work. Whatever. Yeah, just I have to roll an attack, so it is ranged spell attack on the target. So it's just I don't know how that works with spell scrolls.
It'll be
It's
level the
your
spell scroll determines the amount of bonus you get from it. You roll the bonus based on the spell scroll, and since he's prone, it'll be at disadvantage.
Yeah, I know that.
It probably would have been at first level.
First level. So what does it give? Like that's what I'm confused about here. Do I get my spell attack plus the spell scroll, or does it use the spell scrolls?
You're the one aiming. So,
Okay, so it should be plus
you're
1 on
casting
top.
I think it would be just yours, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no plus to hit or damage, whatever. It's a first level spell that you are firing using your spellcasting modifier.
Roll a 1d20.
So go ahead and roll to hit.
I'm gonna roll 2. Oh, roll. Yeah.
Actually, no, there is actually bonuses that are applied to spell scrolls, including their DCs.
And it is awake, so if it's a ranged attack, it would be at disadvantage.
Yep. So an 8 plus 8 will not be enough. So it's a 16. Knowing that, I'm gonna use. I'll use one of my inspirations to roll the d20 again.
Oh, go for it.
So I will take that 8 and then roll a d.
6, unless you have a D10.
Yeah. I still have my d10, but I'll use the d6. He's got to roll 2 or above. Okay, so for a total of 21 to hit.
Actually, just looked it up. Spell scrolls actually do have their own spell attack bonus. Guiding Bolt's level 1, you get a +5 bonus to it. But since you rolled a d6, that turns into an 18, which is directly on its armor class.
18 to hit.
Okay, roll 46. A little bit roundabout, but we got there. Okay, no resistance, so
Radiant damage.
11 points.
Of radiant.
Okay.
And the next person who attacks has advantage.
Correct.
It is true. All right, so as this magical radiant energy kind of streaks out, like as the scroll you read from it, it just kind of bursts into flame and then just shoots out towards Mr. Popolocas on the ground here. As it strikes him, you see it just kind of burning down side of his body, and he just kind of just screams out in undeath pain. Okay. And is that going to be... Are you going to move anymore?
That was using my free object interaction. I'm going to say we might be able to stake him as well. If he is a vampire. And that's it.
Okay. We did. It's an honorable scoundrel. If you type emotes into the chat, they will flash across the screen. And we will love you for it. See, there's a floating monkey. Alright, so let's move on to Mr. Zag. 5, 10, 15, 20. Oops. So you see him just kind of as he kind of just quick leaps over to where this mask is laying on the ground, and he kind of looks back over his shoulder and he sees this vampire-like undead monster again trying to rise up out of Ratul's grasp. You see him kind of just get this look of determination on his little frog-like face, and he grabs it in both hands and he just darts forward and he tries to get this mask back onto the creature. Let's go ahead and roll a dexterity check for our agile little friend. Ooh, no problem. Let's see what old vampire man has to say about that, however. Ooh. This Zigzag easily darts over, and he's able to get this mask back onto Tloques, Popolocas. You again see this magic flare out. You see his body just kind of arc backwards, and he seems to almost be reeling from the magic of this. And he again, kind of in his grung language, he croaks out, and this time a little bit more forcefully and kind of looking towards Ratul. He just goes, Mara, you understand him to be saying, or telling Ratul to release the vampire.
I'll say he's telling him to release. Which I don't understand why you'd release him.
And that's
Okay, so it's my turn right now, yes?
It is your turn. And so you saw Rafiki come over and try to get this necklace around, and just because of the way that you were grappling him, he was just unable to get this necklace around his neck. And that
All right.
seems to be why this little grown man has asked you to release him.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to switch my hold on him from the German bridge to just a pin lock. Despite my large size and my wounds, I move surprisingly quickly and just sort of plant myself on top of him, pinning him, basically flattening him to the ground.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. And let's see if he can resist this maneuver.
That's just a... Is that part of your attack?
Well, it's shifting a grapple.
They have to make an escape of a grapple. It's not every time you move. Like, if you can pull people along with you with grapples, and they still don't get a chance to break out of it.
I know, but in the way that grappling actually works, if you try and change your grapple and change position, you're giving the opponent an opportunity.
It's basically what Indigo is just saying is that he's ruling that because I'm basically doing an alternate grapple, it's going to be a new grapple check. Am I correct in this?
Pretty much, yeah.
Alright, I'll take it. I have advantage anyway, so...
Okay, go for it. Easily done, sir. See? So I'm asking for a roll. It doesn't mean it's not going to be easily done. So... you are easily able to switch positions. You keep this vampire locked in your grasp, and his neck seems to be free now. Well done.
Will that be my action to do this, or can it be a free action for me to grab the amulet from Rafiki to try to slam it into his chest?
I'd say it'd be a free action to grab it from Rafiki, and then maybe a bonus action to try and get it on him.
I have both, as I just reach my big old green palm out, swipe the amulet, and then try to basically... basically I'm just trying to forcefully loop it around his neck.
Okay.
So will this be a dexterity check, or may I use my strength for this?
Go ahead. Either one is fine. I can definitely see Red Tool just force putting this necklace on just about anybody.
Just for clarity, so I know what to roll, would you like a strength check for this, or may I use athletics for this?
Athletics is fine.
$20.
Okay. Yeah, you're definitely able to force this pendant down and around his head, and as it gets down around his chest, as the pendant kind of lands down on him, you again see him kind of throw his arc back, and you hear this unearthly wailing kind of erupt from him as he's kind of thrashing back a little bit, and you see this magic just kind of like leaping off of him in arcs. And at this point, we have said roll for Mr. Popolocas.
I will manhandle this freaking zombie skeleton vampire if I must.
Should really hurt him to have taken so much radiant damage. We might be able to just dust him.
There's a lot of assumptions going on there. So, wow, that is not a very high DC. Okay, he is going to get a wisdom save, and oof. You see him at this point. Let's see, Rafiki, just because of your knowledge of the legends of a lot of these beings and of this area, you know that any creature that was bound and cursed the way that this one was, something like this should definitely have put it back into its rest, into its eternal sleep. But you see this creature seems to be fighting off this effect, and you see it just kind of thrashing back and forth, and it seems to be trying to claw at these artifacts and trying to remove them.
Crap, we ever gonna get rid of this guy?
If we beat him, he won't move. Now start hitting!
Okay. Let's see. Let's see what we can do here. Is this round 4? Or is this round 3?
This is round 4.
Round 4.
Okay.
This guy's been beaten to death 2 times.
That's true.
Fire damage and just acid damage, so most regenerations would have turned off at this point, but maybe this is things different.
This is not his final form.
It's not.
Seeing as we don't really allow him to coalesce fully, of course it's not.
Let's see. Man, you guys would just hate me.
You're,
I think Adam's about to explode. Pretty sure of it. Oh, the meta is just killing him right now. Oh my gosh. Let's see. "20-foot radius. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. So we've cast one of those. You see, almost in an act of desperation, you hear this creature again spitting out this vile language. And as it reaches up, you see its hand kind of glowing with this bluish light as it touches itself. And you see this bluish energy kind of wrap around its form as it's laying there on the stone.
It's getting desperate.
Brasnic.
gotta kill it 2 times.
So the necklace is put on it or no?
It has the mask on.
Puts on it, that's on it.
The necklace and the mask are on it. And it seems
Yes.
to be fighting against this effect of putting it back to its eternal rest.
I shove a healing potion down its throat. No, I'm kidding.
These guys all love you for that.
I mean, there are some games where healing potions hurt undead, but I don't think this is one of them.
Yeah, no, crap, where did... Can I pry its skull off and put it into my bag? I'm just gonna run up and go ahead and once again just stab and
Stab, my
just
man.
like Mara said, trying to go with the whole fire and acid damage or harder to heal type of thing. Just as a second precaution, go ahead and once again invoke another charge of my acid dagger thing, the black dragon. So once more in venom, and then arcane words as green flame blade goes off.
Yes, sir.
It's still prone, right?
It is.
Alright, so advantage. $22.
Okay, it's gonna hit. So 10.
So yeah, there's all the damage. 5 fire, 5 acid, and 18 magical piercing.
Okay.
So total 28 damage.
Okay. So as this thing is struggling, you see it, kind of cast this some kind of magical, glowing essence across itself. As Brasnic comes in and he stabs down with his dagger, you see like this blue glow suddenly flash, and you see his dagger kind of skip off a little bit, and you see it does like dig into it, but somehow as he pulls it back out, just you see a final little spark. The purplish energy still remains within its eyes, but this blue glow seems to have dissipated across the form of the creature.
Second black dagger!
Go ahead and roll, sir.
Because I have a second thing of the dragon, so screw it.
Bonus action, fuck you.
Yeah, bonus action, fuck you, pretty much.
It's a hit.
25.
As you stab in with the one, you see this magical reaction to it. As you pull out the other dagger, you kind of spin it around in your hand. You say anything?
I want the amulet back. And I want the mask, and I want all the jade!
I want all the loot! As you stab down against this creature, your blade sinks into its chest, and again, you see this magical energy kind of lance out from the form of this vampire, and you see it just kind of like racing and arcing around the room, but it's much more this time. And as you pull your dagger free, you see this gout of energy just kind of burst out of the chest of Tloques Popolocas. And you finally see his body just kind of rest, fall back against the stone. You see the pendant resting upon his chest. You see the mask firmly affixed to his face. And you don't see any more movement.
Does the shadow on the wall disappear?
As Mara looks over, you see the shadow slowly fade.
The shadow on the wall was where the axe is?
Yes.
Oh, Brasnic didn't get to see this last week. Let me share. Wrong button.
The creepy hand shadow? I looked at it. Yeah, no, that's not creepy at all.
Actually, I'm not.
Although I sort of want the axe.
You can try it. We already tried earlier. It didn't go well.
Okay. So you do see that this shadow does disappear from this axe. It's still embedded into this wall. And that, I think, is a good place to call it for this week. Guys.
But I want the axe.
Guys, you defeated Tloques Popolocas. You were able to get this mask and the pendant back onto this creature and return him to his dead state. The question is this the end of him? And what to do now? And that is going to be exactly where we pick up next week, and what to do with this threat. It apparently is not entirely vanquished, but it is neutralized for the moment. So, hope you guys had fun. Thanks for for showing up and hanging out and doing this D&D thing with me. I definitely have fun playing with you guys every single week. Thank you so much for Witchy Lee for that $20 donation. I appreciate you so much for that. I'm sure these guys are going to appreciate those dice rolls and that inspiration that they got from that as well. And I definitely appreciate you helping out the stream and helping out our players. Thanks to everybody for hanging out. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, Gibbs. You're always welcome. Your presence is always welcomed and loved. Thank you so much for hanging out. And everybody that is hanging out and watching with us, I see a couple of viewers out there. Please come and hang out with us again. We definitely are trying to do something kind of cool here and build this into something, so we appreciate you hanging out with us as always. Again, if anybody would like to jump in and help this stream grow and kind of do some sort of a sponsorship thing, please email me or get at me through any kind of social media. I'd definitely like to talk about that. I have some pretty cool ideas of stuff to do going forward, and you know, a little assist is always helpful. So, appreciate you all for that. Thanks for the new followers. Thanks for everyone that shared the stream or hung out or did anything for the stream at all. Definitely appreciate any help that comes along. It's a lot of work that goes into this thing, and it's kind of cool to get a little bit back as well. Thanks, guys. So we will be seeing you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Don't sue me for that, whoever owns DC these days. Yeah, and we love you. Thanks for hanging out with us. Bye.